Well, we're back to work in the shop, and what we're going to work on today is the fillets for the wing. Now, according to Dick Hansen, the fillets for this wing should be very, very small. And what we're going to use is this semi-transparent plastic sheet. We're going to put it right on top of our plans, just like that. And we're going to trace the fillet that's on our wing. Now, this is the normal way that I make all my fillets. The nice thing is you just have to do one, then flip your pattern over and do the other side. There we go. There's our fillet drawn right on the transparent plastic. Now we just need to cut it out. Let me get my cutting board. Yeah, that's right. It's an old piece of plywood. Got a nice clean sharp blade in my knife. Nice thing about this plastic is you don't have to cut all the way through it. You just put a good deep score in it. we go. There's our fillet. And that will fit right on there just like that. And we will have a nice fillet. So, now the material used to make the fillet. This material right here. This is 1/64 maple. It's a veneer. We'll take our template, lay it right on our piece of wood. And we'll take our ballpoint pen and trace around it. Well, there's one side. Flip it over. And we'll do the other side. There we go. There's the other side. Then we just cut it out with a pair of scissors. Here's now this veneer is nothing more than something to give us a base to work on. That will just give us a base to work on. Okay, we're back at the shop. Now, what we're doing today is we're going to finish out our fillets in our fuselage. As you can see, we've taken our veneer, our maple veneer, and we've glued it to the fuselage. And we've got a piece of triangle stock back here in the back that's going to add extra strength because this sticks out a lot farther than it does someplace else. And we want to give this strength so that while we're handling the fuselage, we don't break our fillets off. Now, Dick Hansen stated that the fillets on the Tipperary should be very small, or even not at all. So I'm making mine extremely small, a lot smaller than I normally do. But I think that nice big fillets on a wing really look good. So what we're going to do today is we're going to mix the materials that we need and build that fillet up. Now, what we've got is polyester premium. You get this at the automotive paint store. About $17 for this package, and this package right here will go a long way. It's an envelope, and you mix it up by kneading it like this. Knead it just like you would a tube of toothpaste. Now this stuff is runny. It's not real thick like hard putty. The advantages of this is it cures but doesn't dry, such as if you use, Hobbyco epoxy light, for instance, in the fillet, over time it will shrink and crack. This stuff won't shrink and it won't crack, and it's easy to sand, and it's actually about the same price as the epoxy light or the Hobby Light filler. Some people use the stuff they get at the hardware store, drywall putty spackling. Well, that too is a water base. And anytime you have something that is water base, the water is going to evaporate out, and sometimes it takes quite a long time for it all to come out of there. And then what happens is it shrinks and cracks, just like a muddy river bed eventually dries out and cracks. If you paint over the top of spackling too soon, the first time you have your airplane out at the field and the sunlight's hitting it and it's hot outside, it's going to cause that water in the filler to evaporate out under the paint or the monocoat and cause it to bubble up. So I like to use a two-part filler. This sands a heck of a lot better than mixing together epoxy and micro balloons, believe me. Now, the other stuff I'm going to use is this Fasco Epoxies Incorporated. It's called Cabo Seal. We have used this stuff for 50 years as a thickener instead of micro balloons. See, micro balloons are little bitty beads of glass. And if you've ever tried to sand a glass pane, you know how hard it is to sand it. Cabo Seal is not made out of glass. So it's easier to sand. So for those that's been building airplanes for a long time, have known about this stuff, have used it for the past 50 years. Now, I got a little denatured alcohol here that I'm going to help use to smooth out my fillet to kind of keep the sanding down. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to lay out our fillet area. The thing is we do not want our fillet to get any higher than this tape we're laying down here. Now I've already glassed the fuselage. Take some extra thick CA glue and I'm going to glue down my the trailing edge fillet area. There. Now I've got my tape making a boundary for the top edge of my fillet. I don't want it too high, I don't want it too low, and I want to keep it uniform for both sides. So as you can see, my maple, this little triangle socket here to give it some additional support in the back, and my tape for my line. All right. I think we're all ready to go.